bow of the ship and the anchor. A tour of the Battleship Iowa. It's hard to believe how big this thing is, but we're looking at the bow of the ship, the part that goes forward. I believe the overall length of this was like 880 feet long. It's hard to see the battleship behind the tents and other stuff along the harbor berth here. Clear back to the stern of the ship, 880 feet. We're on the Battleship Iowa today. This is December 17th, 2012. You can see the 16-inch guns here. And they shot an awesome projectile. So this is, I believe, the forward 16-inch gun turret. It's hard to believe how big this thing really is, and the fact that it could, I suppose, pivot 180 degrees so they could fire off of either side of the ship. What's your name, sir?
It's Moen, Don Moen.
Okay, tell us about this room we're in.
You're in the captain's wardroom
Of the Battleship Iowa.
of the Battleship Iowa.
Okay.
The captain's quarters, personal quarters, are adjacent to this room, but it's where he would have conferences and
Meet us.
it's probably entertaining. But the real history here that's unique to the USS Iowa is that in 1943, President Roosevelt was transported from Washington to Iran and North Africa for the Tehran Conference. So, and essentially, this was the Oval Office for 8 days, and accompanying President Roosevelt was Secretary of State.
So Franklin Roosevelt would have been in this room for at least 8 days during that trip.
Yeah, and and then more on the return trip later on, but. And they had all the chiefs of staff, so they had a lot of you had a lot of heavy duty brass on here.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Look for yourself on YouTube eventually.
Okay.
We're in the captain's quarters now. And his bed right here. But you say he also had an area above that he would sleep?
He had a seat cabin, a couple decks up.
Okay.
And,
So he could be close to the action then.
Yeah, he'd be close to the bridge.
Uh-huh. Thanks a lot.
Okay. On Iowa.
This, I believe, is a 5-inch gun turret on the side of the ship. One right above us as well. Now that's a porthole. So we're in the armored conning tower area. Be able to sit on this high chair and look out the windows to see what we're going to shoot at, I suppose.
This over here in that valley, as far as your eye can see,
And they're all connected underground.
Hang on. What's your name, sir?
My name is Mike.
Mike. Okay, and we're at, where are we at on the ship?
Bridge on the USS Iowa.
Okay.
And we're looking at the armored conning tower.
Armored conning tower. This
It's 17.5 inches of steel.
17.5 inches. Wow.
The door weighs 2 tons.
Okay.
Inside there are 2 periscopes. Periscope on either side. Now, normally there would be 2 men in here who would be steering the ship.
2 men would steer.
The helmsman and the lee helmsman. The lee helmsman would be operating an engine telegraph.
Okay.
You know the old movies, all ahead, 1/3. But in the event of a battle, the other people who were up on the bridge would all come into this armored conning tower.
And the idea is because that way they couldn't be hurt.
It's a bunker, really. They would shut the 2-ton door and try to figure out who was going to win.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
So this is
A
it.
2-ton door. Good thing the Cold War's over, I guess. Now this device is a radar that would guide either Tomahawk or Harpoon missiles toward other things that were trying to destroy the Iowa. This is an interesting deck because these cruise missile launch tubes have been added, I think, in a 1980s era renovation. I can't even tell you what this thing is. These cruise missile launch tubes on each side of the ship. So we've taken the tour. We're now on the stern of the Battleship Iowa. The stern is the end with the propeller on it. Just there's 16-inch guns in the turret. If you get the chance, come and visit the Battleship Iowa.